building. What required from here? don't see the problem. And this is the problem. I cannot convert it to characteristic range. Ah. Hey, Omnig. Uniform vertex characteristics. Okay, so now it's derived from pipeline characteristic. And I got rid of all the task stuff. Right, but I don't have characteristic anymore. At least that's what I wanted to get rid of. Apparently I didn't yet. Nope, still there. So let's delete this. Whoops, wait, stop. This is a bloody range. And this, that's base. It's not a range, okay. Also a range. And that was all? That was all. Expected class name before. Yeah, just missing a header, I guess. Pipeline characteristic. Characteristic dot h. Private. More private stuff. M flat create info is private. Okay. Yeah, I'm having enough oxygen, thank you. Yeah, basically just everything everything has to be accessible. I'll do, you know, let's do them one by one. Well, this one also, definitely. Oh, it's part of the base, sorry, part of the same class. Just in flat create info then. vi characteristic.h. Expect the class name before. Marked override does not override. I think that's nonsense. Probably the result of the first error. Yeah, simply missing error again. State type is private within this context. If it gives a compile error, just delete the line. It gives an error, so just delete everything that gives an error. And then in the end, you'll end up with a working program, you see? So I guess I did it, aka I removed that task characteristic. And now we have a pipeline characteristic, which is not a task. Yay. At least not like any user would know. Yeah, I always have to laugh. I used to see people do that. Really beginners. I mean, the most stupid beginners that I don't know where I saw it, but was literally that. Oh yeah, that's someone who was trying to compile something they downloaded from the internet. So they downloaded a tarball or say from Git. And they come then to an IRC channel and said, I can't get this or that working. Oh, what's wrong? People try to help him. And then eventually you find out that he just deleted every line that gave a compile error. And then didn't understand why it crashed. Yeah, true story. Hello, Ibrahim. So I had my eyes tested on Nick today. The total, let's see, how many machines were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. Let's say average 20,000. So let's say they used one of them was 50 or 60,000 euros. A machine. So they really threw everything at me. Yeah, they couldn't find anything, basically. I have dry eyes, but I don't know. Just more drops. But the funny thing is that I not only could he not find anything, but as usual, they found out that I have eyes like a hawk. I have extremely sharp eyes. Sharper than they get to see often. I mean, after applying lenses, you know, when I was a teenager, a doctor said I had the sharpest eyes he ever had in his office, and that was without glasses. But now, of course, I get. He needed to put glasses in front of me, but then I could read like, I don't know. He said I was 6 steps sharper than most people. And later he said 106. My eyes are 160%. That was in. I asked if I could get rid of some blurry thing that I see in front of me, something that is in the gel of your eye, and they have the only operation they have for that is that they just remove all the liquid in your eye. They just suck it out, and then that stuff is also removed. And then I was like, and they don't put anything back? No. What? So, well, your eye makes that stuff yourself. So in the end, it would be filled up again or something like that. But anyway, he did not recommend me. He said, with the eyesight of 160%, I do not recommend that operation. Because, you know. So yeah, I wasn't going to. But that's where the 160% was used. Yeah, it's true. I have very, very sharp eyes. Let's see how small I can make my... let's switch to just profile 1, and then I'm sitting at arm length plus 15 centimeters. Let's say I sit 1 meter from my monitor, and of course you can't see it right, I guess. But let's see if I can, how small I can make this. I don't think I have any problem reading anything of the distance until it gets so small that it doesn't fit on the pixels anymore. There's my appearance. Choose, how small do you get? 4. Okay, I cannot read that really. Actually, I can, I think. I can read here. It said, is the programming... Okay, I cannot read this. Why would you... No. Why would... and compiling. Something like that. Okay, cannot really say I can read it. Now, one larger. Oh yeah, okay. If this character didn't need to pre-processing, then why would it need compiling? Now I can read it easily. And if I make it 4 pixels, so that was hard to read. Let me now put on my reading glasses and get close to the monitor. So now I'm looking at it from a distance of 20 centimeters. Yeah, basically it does not fit in the pixels. But I think I can read, let's say this line here says main. Yeah, you shouldn't try. Yeah, just the reason I couldn't read it is because it's the pixels are too rough, so it's it doesn't. My monitor is not sharp enough. So with a 5 point, I can easily read this line. 4 points is just too small for to show the font in the first place. Now, of course, my monitor is larger than well, it depends actually. If you watch this full screen on YouTube on a HD monitor, well, I think I have a 23-inch. So yeah, I think the resolution that I'm looking at is higher than what you see. Yeah, it is. If I look at the OBS preview, it's considerably unsharper in my eyes. I mean, this R is just, crisp sharp. I can almost see that individual pixels. So this R is like 2 pixels wide, but it fits exactly. So it's really sub-pixel the conversion from black to red. And if I look on the OBS screen, it needs a little bit of dithering, I think. Anyway, git diff. I looked at that. Git commit. That's what I always have to do. Status. You never know what you're. Yeah, that's what I mean. I forgot to look at it and I have to add it, otherwise I'm not committing it. That's good enough to me. Add. Commit is everything. Add vulkan pipeline characteristic. Yeah, man, they did amazing things. They made pictures of my retina, I said. I think, how do you call it? The back of your eye. Yeah, retina. And he could even make it look as if it was cut. So, if you get what I mean. I don't even know what that is. Nee man, average, no way. Intersection. See if we can find something. No. No, 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 no. No intersection like that. Is intersection only traffic? Come on. Yeah, this is an intersection. But that's also not what I meant. I think I better look for I. I intersection. That was something. Yeah, this is just... okay, here's an I. Let's just use this. The retina is here. Okay, so let's say yeah, come on, I need a picture. I think this one's what the hell? Okay, you have eye here. So the way you see it now, this from this angle, no, they did not take out my eye and cut it in half. They didn't. But the picture was like this from this angle. So it looked like this, exactly like this. So how did I do that? Well, not the whole image, of course, but the retina part. So let's say this part here. But you could see the depth and everything. And it looked like that. Wow, is your eye like this? Is this the socket of your eye? This is just the muscles, I think. They only show the whole eye. Anyway, the way they did that was they just probe your retina with infrared and then somehow get a depth view. So say sharp at this point and then a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper. So they get a cross section of your retina. Could see the blood vessels behind it and the retina itself and something in between. That was I don't know what the English word is, but so what it was built up of. So all these little layers were visible. So really cool. So that way it was visible that my retina was not detached. If the retina is a little bit detached, then you can also get the double image. But it comes and goes, so it was already kind of ruled out because that would not change, and you would always have it. Steppen, how are you? prefix, and Jakub. Always good to see people get motivated. Okay. I think I have to go back to my to-do list. Unfortunately, not too far back. But let me look in the... it's still a paragraph. Still a paragraph. The top paragraph in the description. In order to make pipeline characteristic ranges work, we'll need to cache the results generated by each characteristic task per fill index. So yeah, what I remember now was that the last thing that I wanted to be able to do at some point is say that we do get in the fill state, but I don't want to do anything. In other words, I want to say use the same things as that were already used, and the whole idea is that that is actually exactly what how do you say it? Let's say I'm getting a fill index of 0. I think I'm gonna go to textures. Via window.h. I think this fix me is fixed because that seems to be the right place. This was also completely rewritten for that matter. So basically fixed. So initialize is being done once. And now you get this fill. And this fill is doing, well, nothing. Let's see how am I doing that here. At the top. Let's do it at the top. Yeah, Stefan, welcome indeed. Studying software engineering in Moscow. Whoa. You have not been drafted. That's what I tell us. That every young man in Russia has to fight in a war. That would be nasty for you if that happened. So just wondering. Plus, I'm always interested to, get it firsthand. Then we know for sure what is happening. Oh, my microphone was a bit away. Okay, let's see. The fill is being called, and the first time, I just have to do this. Meaning, we compile stuff. But what this compiler is doing is it really compiles it, if you get what I mean. So if the next time I compile the exact same thing, that doesn't make any sense. But then compiling is only one thing of what is possible. It's from a movie post bunny, but I cannot remember which movie. So annoying. I hate it when I cannot remember something. What does that mean? Well, maybe it's an existing game and then they used it in a movie. But that's the only thing I know at all. But I cannot remember in which movie I saw it. Oh well. Now this whole block isn't really doing anything. I'm reading an array here and then I'm calling compile, which doesn't do anything. It just puts that index in a vector. Here, push back. And then we run characteristic range filled. Now that then is going to compile, which I don't want. Not if I have to compile the same thing again. So how can I find out if I need to recompile? Do I only have to recompile when the shader index changes? I think so, because isn't the shader index that I get back here like guaranteed the exact same code? Well, at least the same template code, I guess. So I have this frag 0 here. Looks like it's related to this template code, so yeah. Yeah, here, shader info 1.load, and then just a template code. Pretty hard coded. I mean, that's like literally the string here, this string. I think this fills, this fills a vector with shader info object, which is containing the stage that the shader will be used in. Shader name, GLS template source in compiler options. I suppose that theoretically I could want to recompile it with different options as a function of the fill index. Okay, I was told I have to put drops in my eye every time it starts to feel dry. And I used to drop it twice a day, or I should have done it 3 times a day. And now I have the feeling I have to do it like every hour. So let me put new drops in it, at least that bad eye. I'm gonna flood it with drops. Costly business. No, one drop is 5 cents or something, 7.5 cents, I think. You want epic music? I'm listening to something, but it's pretty dull music. Let's put on some music. Testing 1, 2. I guess that when the shader info is the same, so this is the same, this is the same, the whole thing is the same, compiler options are the same, then I do not want to recompile it. And this calculates a hash. Now, isn't that interesting? But it's a hash of compiler options, the stage, the template code, and the compiler. Again, the compiler options. No, wait. Well, anyway, I think everything. Perhaps I should use this hash and then cache it. I think I'll do what the expert told me to do, that I have been to today. Which is just put the drops in my eye frequently. And then hope for the best. Yeah. Shader info, shader info, shader info, shader info. What does the load do? The load of the shader info here's the load. That would be a file name. Just loads the template code. Just load. Here's a load for the source. Boys Bunny, we are going to vote. Chocolate milk or no chocolate milk? Wait, don't say anything yet. That's, there's quite a lot of people who don't want to need to spend time making hot chocolate. I'll give the no voters some time. It's currently still slightly yes. Can't help it. Try to do it as silently as possible. Except for the drinking, of course. I'm kind of stuck here with ideas. So the shader info is, yeah, we have load. Yeah, well, we have load. Then we just have load. You'd say that maybe more things need to be done, more functions. How is this M state set, for example? So we see, I saw the name get set and this, but what about the compiler options and this stage? How/when is that being set? Right, you can pause that the moment it's created. So you did not see that happen. The hash is taken, the hash is just an accessor. It only can be constructed. Like it has to be constructed every time. Impossible. Oh wait, actually. There they are. Okay, that's hard-coded in then. Totally hard-coded in. And the second one? Second one is then a name, I guess. Just a name. Debug name-ish. I do not have shader compile option, but even the compiler options are just when you construct the thing. And after construction, there is no way to change it anymore except by changing the compiler options. So there is a way to change it. Compiler options can be changed. But the other things cannot be changed. M stage cannot be changed. Okay, we'll have to make hot chocolate, but I'll be quick about it. I have to. I want to. Okay, so it kind of depends on compiler options. I might as well use the hash, I think, right? So I think that the hash should be stored together with whatever is the actual result. Control T. So I should follow, so we call compile, just Control T, nope, compile. And that adds to this thing here. which then is used, I guess, in a .cxx. Yeah, it's very sadistic. I'm drowning the chocolate powder. It screams, "No, please, too much water! Don't drown us! You were so dry in the pack, and now you're all mixed up. I'm losing my identity." That's the powder, say corals in English. I have no idea. So what happens next? Preprocess shaders and realize the descriptor set layout. Oké, omdat de postbone niet wil, gaan we nu verder in het Nederlands. Voor haar maakt het toch niks uit. I know, I'm sarcastic, but that's exactly my point. That was exactly my point. So the intelligent Christ, the powder, yeah, certainly. I was saying the intelligent Dutch viewers or listeners should have gotten it. Okay, I stirred it off. Now we wait for the water to boil. So we use this thing twice. Once for preprocessing and one for building the shader. Especially building the shader takes a long time. However, the preprocessing, I think the result of preprocessing is being used in subsequent steps. So what if it is skipped that the second time? You cannot do that. I don't think you can do that. Or can you? I might have to detect right here which shader indexes have been changed. So calculate the hash, etc. And then skip it, and if I skip it here, then I also have to skip it here, and that might work. Might work. John van S, ja, ik kan het gewoon lekker volgen in Nederlands, hè? Waarom niet? Oei, thank you. Yeah, apparently I still have an accent. I'm pretty much due, I suppose. I think it's nearly impossible to learn a language without an accent. But it would be funny to learn how to speak English without audible accent. Everyone thinks that I'm truly an American. So that's definitely something I'm going to learn as soon as I figured out how to become 10,000 years old. Maybe more than one language too. Might as well learn a few languages too. What's the time then for? Okay. Het is volbracht. I don't know how to say that in English, but we've done it. Well, I know a few other languages or cultures or whatever that cannot. Yeah, well, I meant it in a more religious way. That it's done. I used to be able to make really good jokes in Dutch and absolutely not in English. Took a very long time before I started to be able to make jokes in English. That's really difficult to make jokes in a different language. But the type of jokes that I have become good at are not suited for YouTube. They're all of the insinuating type that that is how do you say that? Offending, I guess. The average people would be offended. Instead of understanding the humor of it. Maybe they are kind of the jokes that Post Bunny makes. Yeah, pretty much the same jokes Post Bunny makes. Not too clear, but definitely clear, if you get what I mean. You never say it literally, but so I cannot make jokes, and for the same reason I'm not reacting to Post Bunny's jokes. Yeah, I did teach myself how to code. I studied physics, but hell, I learned coding when I was 12 and onwards. I wrote already pretty damn difficult programs before I even went to university. Yeah, I started coding at 12. Right. So riddle me this, aka answer the following. If the hash of the shader info that I can look up with this function. So we have this, I calculate the hash. If that hash is the same as I have seen before, can I skip the call to preprocess? Yes or no? I still have more than half left accelerator. So you're not really too late. I'm sure I was thinking about what I just said, you know, jokes in English or Dutch, and then the kind of jokes that I make. And I have an example that I can tell you. But one, nobody will laugh because you have to be there, you know, it's a situation. And I already told it on the stream. So people might have heard it. It's the only thing I can think of now that is a kind of the... more or less this kind of humor that I like and do, but that I can still tell on the stream. So that was when I drove with my bike very fast into a metro in the underground and almost hit the mirror on a wheelchair of someone. And then I said something like, well, if you drive fast enough, you don't need a rear mirror anyway. And then everyone had to laugh. I mean, like, everyone who heard it in the metro laughed, so it was funny, apparently. No, PCs were not invented in 1936. No way. No way. I'm very sure that there were no PCs when I was younger than that. So I started coding on the TRS-80, and there was no PC yet. There was no 286. Now I have to look it up. When did the 286 CPU come out? 1982. Kadang. So what I started coding on was, I think this was must be earlier. I think I started coding on an 8080, I think. 1974. Started coding, yeah, that's what I mean. Okay, that could be it. They came out in when I was 10, and then 2 years later I started coding on this on that thing. Yeah, computers were invented. Then you're talking about room big things, computers, calculators, I guess. On vacuum tubes that were drawing several kilowatts. That's not something you have at home. PC stands for personal computer. That's what a family can buy and put on your desk. Just, you know, the normal people. When computers were costing a few €100,000 or dollars, and it no, that was not for the normal people. Well, you better learn English if you're interested in programming. Then seriously, just one language. Wel, ik zei dat computers van 1936, dat waren computers die zo groot waren als in een hele kamer en een paar kilowatt aan vermogen gebruikten. Terwijl een PC staat voor personal computer. Dus dat is echt dat jij je eigen computer kan hebben. Thuis. And that started like around when I started coding. Not 30 or 40 years before that. No way. John says he doesn't understand English. He wanted to hear it in Dutch. No, what I was falling over was that he said, he said 1120, I'm young mate, but apparently PCs were invented in 1936. So PC stand for personal computer, though definitely not 1936. And I think that you cannot speak about PC before I started coding. So it was after, PC definitely after 1976. And I just looked it up. I mean, one of the real PCs were from Intel. They had 286 in it. And that was from 1982 or something. Just looked it up. And the 286 came out. So the processor that I really started with, the 8080, that was a CPU that runs on 2 megahertz. Yeah, not gigahertz, megahertz. And we had 48 kilobytes of RAM with it, which costs about, well, I don't know, 4,000, which at the time was the same as, say, 8,000 now. Well, to keep it short, Razdev, I have told people before, the trick with learning coding is just start and don't stop. You must feel exhausted, you must put a lot of time into it, you must never give up, and you must work really hard. Nothing comes easy. So there is no tips because you have to do it yourself. You have to make it your own. And that's gonna take a lot of time and a lot of effort. Practicing is the key, exactly. Start young. Do nothing else. No girl or boyfriends. No social life. And then you can become an expert in something. Yeah, Boys Bunny, you will not know, because for many reasons. Among one that you're too old already. That's why I'm so bad at chess. I started way too late with chess. I think I started when I was 18. Plus, I lack a lot of other things, like I don't have a visual, what is that? I can't see images. If I close my eyes, it's just pitch black. And I don't have a good memory. I mean, it's definitely, I could remember, when I was young, like 18, I could remember my games for a whole week. So a week later, I just still knew what game I played, how it went. But the really good players, or a master or something, remembers all the games that they ever saw. Well, certainly a grandmaster, but most masters know hundreds and hundreds of games from their head, I think. No. I think chess is pretty much unrelated. The only relation I see is that you probably there's a link between chess and musicians, and there's apparently also a link between programmers and music. Although doesn't hold for me. So I do not play any musical instrument. I do consider myself good at what is it? Judging music. So if I can hear music, I hear music, I can tell you if it's good or not. And I have a pretty high standard. I like really complex and difficult music. But I don't think I'm... I don't think I would even have been, a virtuoso in anything if I had tried. And I never really tried, so yeah. I don't know. Chess develops something, but I don't think it's worth the time. So if you look at top players in the world who can only play chess, but are world champion level, the super grandmasters, they just learned one thing, really, just one thing, and that's chess. They cannot apply it at different levels. They don't have a high IQ because of it. I mean, I wouldn't. If I had children, I wouldn't mind if they wanted to play chess on a club, but I wouldn't think of it as important for the education, or what is it? Not education. Opvoeding. What is opvoeding in het English? Opvoeden is to raise. I think you can do just fine without learning chess. I do think that learning certain things can be important, but I would rather think about mathematics then. Timmy, yeah, ratings change, on websites it's much harder usually. My real life rating was top 1920. I think that's the highest rating I ever had, which is really not high in my eyes. So maybe I would play at 1900, and that would definitely be pretty good now. I think I haven't played long games for a long time actually, so maybe I dropped even till the lower 1800s now. That question is too personal, Razdev. Also too personal. I want to understand this. I think sorry, so much chatting and I don't make any progress. And it is 11:30, so it's actually time for me to stop. So yeah. Razdev, yes. I don't have anything else left in life, I think. There's a lot of things that I would like to do, but like I said, then I would have to become 10,000 years old, and then I would want to do all those things. But as it is now, I start to feel that there is only one thing that I can still do in life before I'm getting really too old. Just for two reasons. One, let's say if I do a thing that typically takes 7 years, So I could do a thing like writing a Vulkan engine and then maybe stop in 7 years with that. Already done it for 2 years now, so okay, theoretically I could stop at 63 with coding the Vulkan engine and then start doing something else. But the older I get, the more senile I will get. So at some point, I don't have the feeling that it is making an impact anymore. So during my life, I am kind of used to performing at such a high level that I feel that it has, that's definitely beyond hobby. I'm doing something for the greater good. So, and when I get so stupid that so old and slash stupid that I just can write simple programs, but it's not going to help anyone anymore, even a little bit, then I would just do that as a hobby. And I'm not sure if I want to spend my time by the time that programming has become just a hobby. I'm not sure. Maybe and then I should start to do other things like maybe can travel the world once in my life. By the time I cannot program anymore, I probably still will be smart enough to travel the world and enjoy what I see there. But yeah, that time would be also just for me and not really doing anything. I mean, when I was much younger, I had more other ambitions, like I was feeling that I would be able to really mean something for humanity. I had plans to work on, I don't even know how to say that in English. Fusion energy, I guess. I would say in Dutch, kernfusie. But then the word kern is lost suddenly in English. Atom fusion, I suppose. I mean, what humanity currently is doing is all to do with machine learning. Nuclear fusion, yes, exactly. Thank you. That's the best translation. Right, so say I think that where humanity is right now is learning how to build an AI, and they are at a very beginning level, pure machine learning. But they are already capable of doing things like folding proteins and making computers understand you more or less. So ChatGPT is just a language model, but still. Pretty much grasps what is my IQ? I had it measured once officially. I don't know if I want to say that. I said it before on the stream, but still. I've done a lot of tests in my life, official tests, and I usually know higher than that post money. Any test like that, I always score of the scale, the highest possible score. Also, the IQ test I did for Mensa, you know what Mensa is, resulted in, saturation. So the result was larger than ... I think I already told, pretty much everything I remember from my youth, because my memory is really bad. Among which, say, if we would give an example of the things that I would do or think of. When I was 18, I heard a story of, and I forgot the Greek name, but I think it was Aristotle. Some guy taking up a race against a turtle. If you know the story, and when I heard that, I think my brother was telling it to my dad and me, and they were both like, oh my god, how is that possible? It's like Aristotle cannot overtake the turtle, because every time he comes where the turtle is already a little bit further. And I was amazed that they were amazed, because to me it was obvious that the reason he would never overtake it is because the speed at which time passes in the story slows down. So you have the time in which you tell it, and you have the time in that is the time that progresses in the story. So if you tell it like he comes where the turtle is, and then the turtle is already a few meters further, and then by the time he is where the turtle is, then the turtle is even further, and you tell it like that, then you never reach the moment in the story in which he overtakes the turtle. And I hadn't thought of that, or I thought, hey, that's the same thing as why you cannot go faster than light. Because I knew that if you go close to the speed of light, then the time slows down. If you see, say, a spacecraft flying by at the speed of light, then the astronauts in the spacecraft don't move. Their watches seem to be not ticking. You do not see any time pass in the spacecraft. So the people in the spacecraft itself, from your point of view, never reach the moment at which they overtake the speed of light. And that's why they will never go faster. And then from one thing came another. And from that I derived the relationship between gravity and time dilation. And I was 18 at that time. And another story I already told was, I think I was younger, more like 15 or 16. My dad was a programmer, and he was writing a program that designed electronic circuit boards. So he put electronic circuits on a board, and then make the computer find the best way to route the copper wires on the board. And he had a bug in it, and he couldn't find it. But it was on our PC at home. So it was a die. There was no PC yet, but it was this 8080 thing. And he had been working at home the whole day, and he couldn't find the bug. And then I came home, and he said, "Well, you're good at programming. Maybe you can help me." And he started to explain the program, but I was so impatient that I stopped him after 2 sentences, because I just was, I couldn't wait until people finished the sentences. When they started the sentence, then I already knew what they were going to say, and it was exhausting to wait until they finished the sentence. So for that reason I said, stop it, just let me look at the code. So I sat down and I scrolled over the code once, and I said, there's the bug. So looking back, I was a genius, because that's ridiculous. But it never felt like that. I was just bad at things, bad at social contacts, bad at fitting in groups. I was bad at a lot of social stuff. In fact, I was so bad that that's why I became a radio pirate. I already told that as well. I started electronics when I was 7, and so by the time I was 15, I think, I started building my transmitter. and to broadcast on the normal radio, and had contact with friends. And I remember that was very good for me, teaching me how to act, say, in a social setting, because I had only to concentrate on my words, and people didn't reject me for being silent for a while. So I could sit there with my eyes closed, deep concentration on the words that I had to say. And when I had to think longer than normal, people would think that I was just doing something else, you know. They pictured just a normal someone. Maybe I was walking around or doing something else. I was just silent. They didn't see me sit there concentrated, thinking very long. And in the end, I became pretty popular radio pirate. Well, I mean, not really a pirate as in, you know, I never had ads or phone calls or stuff like that. I was just, I don't know, making my homework of working on electronics while transmitting. Kind of like now. But yeah, for me, that was that experience was the first time that I really did fit in, and that it really worked out to have social contacts. Yeah. And then much later, I learned to also fit in more or less in real life. So including the acting and the verbal communication, stuff like that. I mean, I have autism, right? So it didn't come all automatically for me. Yeah, right, Post Bunny. Oh man, yeah. My best friend, I spoke with him over the radio every day, hours. And we became such good friends that we went on a holiday together on our bicycle. We went to from the Netherlands to Belgium somewhere, I think. So maybe 100 kilometers or 150 kilometers biking. And after a few days, he just exploded. He couldn't stand me anymore. He stepped on his bike and without speaking any words, we drove back all the way back to the Netherlands in one day. I had done something wrong. Until today, I still don't understand what. that was real life, instead of talking over the radio. I mean, he told me it was that at the time anyway, I wasn't taking initiative, so. He would say, shall we do this? And I would say, yes, that's good. Shall we do that? Yes, that's good. And I never said myself, shall we do this or shall we do that? I let him make up everything that we would do, and I would always agree. And apparently that for him, that was unbearable at some point. Kind of strange, but okay. Yeah, so I said I was going to stop, right? Already it's way too late. I'll pick it up tomorrow. Razdev asks my answer. Ding, 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 ding. Did you ask a question? Did I miss something? What do you think about AI? Would they kill all the languages in the future? I think humanity will make slow progress, and that there will never ever be a difference. Well, never ever is a bit too much, but the first few hundred years certainly not, in our social structure. That is, we have rich people, we have poor people. The few rich will have most of everything, and the rest will have almost nothing, and that's how it stays. And that will include computers and AI. At some point we might invent, say, eternal life. Only the very rich people will get into eternal life, which would be very, very, very bad for humanity. Because, you know, now if there is a really bad leader, then at least you can wait till he dies. And so we have very rich families now, and then people die, but they, you know, they keep it within the family. All the money keeps in the family, all the teachings and the ideas they tell each other, and they survive, sometimes even hundreds of years. That's never good for humanity at large. So if this technology is going to keep people alive long, then at some point you will have powers that you cannot unthrone anymore at all. And I think that's the direction where we're heading. So as long as there is no nuclear war and humanity survives, then it's all okay, you know, in terms of the far, far, far future. At least we will still live. Humanity will still be there, and eventually we will colonize other planets, other solar systems. But most of humanity, for the foreseeing long, long time, will suffer. That's my opinion about everything. But I'm not sure if it is really bad, you know. I mean, on the grand scheme of things, maybe it is only about colonizing those other planets and making advancements in science. And it doesn't really matter how we get there. Okay, I'm gonna stop the stream, so I'll be back tomorrow, okay? AI is just another tool, so it's gonna be abused. The people with power and money will get the AI, and the AI will control everyone. That's already starting now. Look at well, basically every country. The Europe, America. They want to control the internet. Everything is censored. We get digital ID, digital money. It's going to be one big control the masses over the whole world. So what I just said is already starting. No, well, I'm a lot less scared about an AI taking over than the genius AI being abused or used by evil people. Well, at some point we will get a very intelligent or very powerful, at least, artificial intelligence, and that will be used by the people in power in order to stay in power. And then the only advantage that humanity has of that is that they probably don't want a world war. So they will try to avoid it, and they will want to keep industrial and science alive, because they benefit them personally from that. No super rich guy has any benefit of complete collapse of our society. So in terms of there are no factories anymore and no science anymore, then they will have to start living in a hut. So in the end, it will boost, humanity as a whole. By the time the super rich can live in a paradise-like spaceship that orbits the planet, and then I guess it will drip down from there, so that everyone else can at least have a reasonable life, the life that I have now, for example. And then, not just here in the Netherlands, but maybe everywhere. So no, I'm not afraid that AI. No, absolutely not. Will take over. It's gonna be pure that AI is going to be used to control the masses, which is very possible, very well possible. If they control the internet, they control all the media, they control all the social media. You get only to hear what they want you to hear. That forms opinions. And they are doing it already, you know, talking about teaching young people with their ideas. It has already happened. Most universities are brainwashed almost with the new ideas that they want. There will be no free thinking anymore, and AI will make that possible. AI makes it possible that the few control the masses. So that's the bad thing of AI, I think. Not the AI itself. I really gonna click on stop